Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to be making an example chord wrap for the chord wrap project. So I have my project sheet up here. It's super important that we keep in mind the specifications, meaning that our maximum length is 4, right? No bigger than 4. The maximum depth is 2, can be smaller, can't be larger. And our exact height is 3/8. The bottom of our design must be completely flat. It can have some indents in there, but it must be completely flat. You must have one slot, at least for the chord, and you have to have 2 holes that are between 3/16 and 1/4 of an inch in diameter. I recommend you going with 1/4 just to make your life a little bit easier. And then for this project, at some point, you need to use the mirror tool and construction lines, which I'll be showing you both. Okay, so I already created a document, and I titled it my period, my first name, the initial of my last, and then the project name, chord wrap. So we're going to go sketch, and we're going to click on the top plane, and I'm going to do the top-down view. So I'll name this top. The first thing I want to show us is construction lines. So if you hit construction, and then you use any of the tools we have, right, that make something. So I'm just going to use a line. Now I'm going to start at the origin, and I'm going to go straight up, and then hit escape. So this construction line is just for laying things out. It's for reference. It's for using tools like the mirror tool. Very, very, very helpful, but it's not going to be part of your design, which makes it super useful. So what I'm going to do is by using some of our tools, right? And I'm really only going to use construction and mirror, but these tools, pay off down the road. What I'm going to do is I'm only going to make the right part of my overall design, and then utilizing the construction tool, I'm going to mirror the right side over to the left. Okay, this helps us by making a little bit faster. We only have to dimension one time, and we can make sure it's perfect, because if you make sure the right side's perfect and you mirror it, then the left side will be perfect as well. So what I'm going to do is, using the line tool, I'm just going to start making the right side. Now remember, any length dimension, right, so left or right, needs to be divided in half, pretty much just the main overall dimension, because when I mirror it, it's then going to be doubled, right? So I'm going to start here. I'm just going to go out randomly, down, and I'm going to make a little bit of a slot here for us. That way we know for our chord we have, and I'm going to stop there, hit escape. Now I can do some dimensioning. So I'm going to dimension first, left to right. Now remember, like I said, the overall dimension's 4, and half of 4 is 2, so we're going to mention that as 2. I'm going to make this width here 0.5. I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom, just so it looks nice. And then I'm going to make sure I go over left and right here, 0.5. And now, because when I was drawing it, I made them the same, if I hit 0.5 here, it's going to gray out the dimension, which is totally fine. That's exactly what we want, right? Now, I can't dimension this one because I already have it dimensioned from here and here, right? So I could just say, 1. Actually, I could do that because I didn't do overall dimension. So instead of doing that, I certainly could dimension top to bottom. I can make it 2. And now because I have here to here is 0.5 and here to here is 0.5, the middle is going to be 1 inch, and I can't change that because it'd be over dimensioned. Right, but now that I have all of these dimensions where I want them, confirm. I'm not going to confirm. I'm going to hit the mirror tool, which is right here. So I'm going to select mirror. Then it says select a mirror line, which I'm going to use the construction line that we did, what we're going to mirror. So anything that I select now is going to be mirrored across this line. So I'll go here, and you can see it start to jump over there. I'm going to do this line, this one, boom, 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 and now it's one solid shape, and I made it very quickly. I know this is a simple design, but I only had to worry about making one side perfect, and mirror it, making the other side perfect. So if I go overall dimensions, now if I go here to here, it's 4, right? And that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. You can certainly double check these dimensions, but I'm going to tell you, if you use the mirror tool, it's perfect, and since they're gray, you know they are. So I'm going to confirm it. Extrude, click on it, rename it top, and this is going to be 3/8, just like the project sheet shows, right? So now what I'm going to do is we're going to sketch. I'm going to click here. We're going to do our zip tie holes. Okay, so I'm going to first use construction and go to line. And then I'm going to, typically we don't like to lock in, but for construction lines, I'm going to lock into this midpoint here and just draw a construction line all the way down, hit escape. So I know this is the midpoint of my shape, right? So this one should be, if I just double check that dimension, top to there, it should be an inch, which it is. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is use the circle tool, and I'm going to make sure it's center point. I'm just going to make a circle anywhere I want. And then I'm going to make it 0.25 inch diameter, because that's the max, right? Hit enter. And now I'm going to dimension it, how far down it is, right? Because you always have to dimension how far down. Now, let's say I'm going to do how far down an inch would be here, right? So why don't I do 0.5 down, and then from the center to the end, I'm at 1.5. Let's make it center, so I'm going to make it 2. Okay? And now, instead of redoing the same thing down here, if I just hit the mirror tool, select my mirror line and what I want to mirror, click on the outside, bang, now it's there. Now I have both of my zip tie holes. Extrude, select both of those, call them zip tie holes, remove it, blind through all, make sure it's going in the right direction, bang, now I have my 2 zip tie holes. So I'm doing very well. Hasn't taken too long. Now I have to put in my channel for my zip tie. Now there's 2 ways you could do this. You certainly could go to a sketch, and I could make my sketch on the top of it, and I could just do a rectangle and extrude down. But if you want to be a little fancy, if I go on the left side and I extrude here, or sketch here, right, I can actually make my channel rounded instead. So here, I could do chord channel or chord slot, either one. I'm actually going to use a 3-point arc. Now for that, I can click once, where I want to start my circle or my arc, go again where I want to finish it, and then I can kind of choose it how far down I want. Now if you see, right now I have left point, right point, and the center point all on the same line. That's what I want, so that's where I'm going to keep it. And I'm going to make it, I don't know, 0.25. That might be a little too big. Why don't I make it, I don't know, 1/8. Okay, so it's going to be 1/8 deep. Now I'm going to use the dimensioning tool. So from here to here, right, is a little over 1. We're going to make it 1, so I know it's definitely in my midpoint. Confirm my sketch. Extrude it. And make sure I remove it. I'm going to go ahead and call it chord channel. I'm going to go from through all. Zoom out, make sure it's what I want, and confirm it. Now, there's pretty much most of my chord wrap. Now, another thing I can show us to kind of make things a little bit nicer, once you extruded a ton of stuff and you have everything you need, right, you can use the fillet tool, which kind of like puts a round over or like rounds some stuff. So here looks very boxy to me. So if I click there, and then I click on this line here, it's going to round them and makes them look a little bit nicer. Now you can change your radius for whatever it is, but default's usually around 0.2 or 0.25. So I'm going to do that on all of my inside corners, just to kind of make them a little bit less harsh. And I actually might even do it on my edge corners here too, just to kind of make it look not as harsh. Now you certainly could do that on more than just where I'm going to do it, but I think that looks a little bit more inviting, a little bit less rough. And then actually I'm going to do another fillet, and I'm going to do it on both sides of my chord wrap, and I'm pretty happy with that. And you can certainly explore more on that, but I'm overall pretty happy with what that looks like. Now the bottom has to be flat, but you certainly could make another indent or another channel for the chord wrap if you want. You can put your initials back here, then extrude them through. You could do almost whatever you want as long as it's nice and flat. All right. Now, when my part is finished and I like the look of it and meets all the specs, make sure to rename your part the project, cord wrap, right click, edit appearance. I'm going to make it nice and purple. And then rename my part studio, just backspace the 1, cord wrap. Then I'm going to right click, create drawing of cord wrap, 4 views on ANSI A. All my drawings, I'm going to show my hidden lines. Units to inches fractional. And dimension the length on the front view. The depth on my top view. And the height on my side view. Now, if you get here and it looks a little funky, sometimes you can click here, and the arrows should move a little bit for you. If they don't, not a big deal. That just could be the way those letters are. Oh, I can actually hit the bottom one there. Moves them out a little bit. And if you get a little wonky with that, it's not the end of the world. See how there's arrow? Boom. Now I'll put it back out. It's just because it's small. Alright, so I hope that helps. Good luck.